Hi everyone, I'm John.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're just three kids from Brooklyn.
And this is the Marvel Movie Marathon Podcast web series.
I gotta keep going forward, it's the only way I know how. Taking the steps while I carry this weight has me paving the ground. Brace for the broom through the carry through area, breaking through barrier sound. How many foes gotta go down to show you Hulk is not playing around? Taking the crown, seat on the throne. Marvel movie marathon. You think I'm lying, cast it for stone. Kill the hate from massage glass home. Catch you alone, hope that you keep the same energy. I ain't out here to make enemies, but if you block out my legacy, gotta endure when the doom you pretend to be. I am the man of the century, black on my centerpiece, glow in the light. People depend on me, like Captain America. I know how to fight, I do what is right. Sometimes that means making a sacrifice, but that's life. When I feel like can't no more, I'll pick myself up, and that's might.
Our first live show of the summer is in the books. Thank you to those who came out for Dark Phoenix. We've been getting a lot of love on the episode online.
Oh, nice.
Because
really?
The Dark Phoenix.
The happy few that came out.
Yeah, the happy few that came out, but also online, we're getting some love and comments on the episode because we're funny.
Dank Phoenix, man.
Dead Phoenix. Yeah, and also apparently what you guys said about the Ninja Turtles is kind of controversial. People don't agree with you guys about Leo.
What? Leo's the worst.
No, he's not.
Oh, Leo is so far and away
out
the
of
worst.
all the things I thought we would ever have backlash about,
yes, that would be
shit
it.
about
Leonardo, yeah.
Is the one, and that's definitely not the first time we've talked shit about Leonardo.
I know.
It would have been good to have Tom here. Tom's favorite was Leo.
Oh, good. See, exactly.
Oh, so
look,
we'll bring this up next week.
Next week's fine because I have a whole spiel, but we're very exciting. We're gonna start the Spider-Verse. So the web series is gonna lead into our next live show, which is Wednesday, July 3rd for Spider-Man: Far From Home. We will be live at Cinemark Cinemas in a theater cafe
With booze.
With booze.
With booze.
Tickets are going on sale this week.
With booze.
With booze. We will have booze. And then our big live show for this summer will be at Tilt's Wednesday, July 24th. We will be live at Tilt Sports Bar and Arcade. Come out, get Tilt with us, talk about video games. It's going to be a good time.
We had the fish bowl.
We did have, talking to the mic.
41 ounces.
We finally had our fish bowl.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you're never there when we're there.
We didn't finish
I've
it all.
I've only been there once.
Next time we go, we have to make it a goal to finish.
So we went there
fishbowl.
for brunch, and we'd never been there for brunch before. I mean, honestly, Tilts, come on, we give you such good plugs every time.
Yeah.
We went there for brunch, and I had French toast that was just made of cake. It was awesome. Pound cake French toast, and they were like, "Are you gonna have dessert?" And I was like, "You just served me fried cake. What the hell is dessert?"
Are you complaining about fried cake? That sounds delicious.
What on earth could be dessert when breakfast was fried cake?
2 fried cakes.
No, he had so many slices of fried cakes he was sharing around the table.
We were all sharing. We had like family style brunch. It was great. We had this fish bowl.
Yeah.
And we were carrying it around. We couldn't finish it. It had these nerds on the bottom. Nerds.
Now, do they actually do brunch, or do they just...
No, they have a brunch menu.
It was a brunch.
Oh, it's a brunch menu.
They have
I thought you guys just went there and just said, all right, this is brunch.
No. They actually have a brunch menu.
Had an omelet and tots.
They have like fried shit for dessert too. Creme brulee.
Oh my god, they had fried Reese's Cups, and it tasted like Reese's Puffs, the cereal. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It straight up tasted like the cereal. It was insane.
Reese's Puffs, yeah.
Reese's Puffs are good cereal.
They make it damn good. I don't know.
Not better than
I hope they
Captain
make
Crunch.
it fresh, but they make a damn good brownie. Like a lot of times, you'll have a restaurant brownie. It'll be kind of like a brick. You know, it'll be like a chewy. It'll be like, why does this brownie have the consistency of a bagel?
It needs to be hard on the outside and soft on the inside.
Yes, that's exactly what this brownie was, and it was perfectly warm with a little bit of chocolate ice cream on top.
We talk so much about Tilts. Come and see us live at 942 Flushing Avenue. It's free, and just come out, get tilted with us, drink, have a good time. It's going to be...
They got some new pinball machines there. They got the Monopoly pinball machine that I really
love
like.
pinball.
You guys like your pinball, huh?
I do.
I learned something about playing pinball.
There's places where just pinball, but they're starting to gain more pinball machines, and it's like the Phantom Menace
pinball is getting popular again.
Yeah. Because people don't realize there's a skill to it. You know what I mean? You have to aim and shit. It's not easy.
Funny. It's and the aiming isn't really aiming. It's kind of like hitting the flippers at the right time.
Yeah.
It's all physics.
I remember the pinball game on Windows 98. You guys ever play that?
Oh yeah.
That was like when you had no internet, you just played that shit.
It was like space themed. Or something.
Apparently, there was other levels. You just had to like
Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Remember
I
trying to
never knew
play
how to
that
beat
when a kid.
No one. I'm sorry. No one knows how to play that game.
Do you know?
No one knows how to play that game.
Do you know why Minesweeper and Solitaire were the first games on Windows? Because the mouse was new and nobody knew how to click or drag.
Genius.
So Solitaire was to teach people how to drag. And Minesweeper was to teach people how to like do precision clicks and double clicking and stuff.
No one knew the rules to that game. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Minesweeper,
I have no
no
idea.
one.
It's just tread
It
carefully,
was just
motherfucker.
it was just like, all right, I'm gonna try this one.
Oh no, a 5.
Oh yeah, what does that mean? Is that it's within 5 spaces? I don't know.
And they
don't
always
know.
start you like the default they start off for you is like you have 10 spaces and 8 bombs. Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Your computer's going
Every
to
state, everything. 8 bombs nearby. 8 bombs nearby. There's 8 bombs nearby.
Find it too.
and you have to flag the ones you think are there, but it probably isn't one.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, and you have to put these little flags in. Yeah.
I don't know what happens if you actually win the game. I have no idea.
Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Who knows? No one's ever won it.
Probably like, what if Bill Gates was like Willy Wonka, and if you won a game, it was like not giving the gobstopper to Slugworth, and he was like, "You've won, boy. You've won. You've won."
I would love a CEO to be like Willy Wonka. That'd be fantastic. That's what this world needs.
Gosh.
One day. We're getting
In my
there.
heart, Bill Gates is now like Willy Wonka, and he's a computer.
He used to be a villain. He used to be a
Yeah,
straight up
remember when Bill Gates was
Spider-Man
a bad guy,
villain?
and then he was like, "I want to cure malaria," and everyone was like, "All right, okay, sure."
That makes up for all the shit you pull.
Hero.
Oh shit, he's Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom does shit like that. He's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody. Never mind, AIDS doesn't exist.
No, Fassbender is Dr. Doom.
Oh my god.
Dude, we came up with that in the last show. That's huge. That has to happen.
We did that for another one, too.
It was Hercules.
I don't think
Something we
Disney will ever
forgot
do
to
it.
mention during Dank Phoenix.
Yes, we should do that now.
Magneto went, "Get to the chopper!" At one point in the
Get to the
movie. He
chopper!
went, "Get to the chopper!"
So ridiculous. And then we didn't do our aftermath show, but is that a show that I need an aftermath?
That movie was an
No,
aftermath.
yeah, that you don't need a.
That was our aftermath.
You know, it was
You don't
funny.
need that.
Remember Professor X had the bat phone? He just had a bat phone to the
I
White
like when he
House.
shimmy danced up the stairs.
Ridiculous.
Terrible.
It was like Fred Astaire.
I just like when Magneto chucked the helicopter to safety.
Yeah.
Imagine being in that shop. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like this.
It's like when a superhero just drops somebody in the ocean. They're like, "That's not safe either."
Somebody had to have fallen out of that helicopter.
Oh, man.
Somebody had to go down.
Such a ridiculous movie, but I liked it. I had a good time with you
I
guys.
realized another fuck up from that movie too. So Jennifer Lawrence was like, by the way, lately the women have been saving all the men. Maybe we should call it ex-women. Now the ex-women's not my problem with that line. They had just come from a scene where
Nightcrawler and Quicksilver.
Nightcrawler and Quicksilver saved fucking Jean Grey and they saved somebody else.
The astronauts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It's fake news.
It's fake news.
It was a forced line.
Yeah. But
And that's not Mystique. Mystique doesn't flip out like that. Mystique would, if Mystique actually felt like that, she would have killed him without him realizing he was being killed.
Yeah, I'm out on Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, since when does Mystique not kill somebody she perceives as a threat to mutants?
I like Jennifer Lawrence in that movie, Silver Linings Playbook. That's pretty much about it. I like her with that director.
I liked her in. I didn't mind her in the big one, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games? That was her franchise, yeah. She didn't need another one after that. I mean, we'll see what else she does. It's franchise fatigue, man. But we're going to get into our first segment, Daily Bugle News.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
So I read something today, and it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of disheartening. But Paul Rudd is saying that the fans should campaign to get Ant-Man 3.
It's gonna be made. Just listen. It's a work. It's a work.
Yeah, we probably are
It's
getting
a
work.
work.
Will it get made though?
They're
Why?
having. It'll
Why?
get made. Why? Because
They
people
closed out
like
his
it.
story though.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. He's with his family now. He's with Hope. He's got his daughter.
Okay.
What else is there for him to do?
I still want to see them all four of them fighting.
Cassie obviously becoming Sting or something like that. Maybe that'll be it. Maybe they'll have him in a more retired role and have Cassie taking the mantle. Maybe she'll be the next Wasp. Maybe
I want them to do it if they're gonna do it to be part of the story.
I would like Wasp training Cassie. Yeah. That's what I would like. Hope Van Dyne training Cassie to be a superhero.
I want to see Hank Pym and Scott kicking ass together.
That would be cool.
I was retired. He's not going to fight.
I kind of I was daydreaming about that while driving the other day. It would have just been cool at Endgame. It's just like, Scott, let's go kick their ass. And they just both shrink and just start fucking everyone up. I don't know. I just kind of got I got chills thinking about that.
Yeah, but I think it's a work. I think they're going to make it. And they're having Paul Rudd whip people up.
I don't know. I'm just worried it's not in their plans, and I'm not saying they're scaling down.
I'm super skeptical of everything they say after the James Gunn thing. After James Gunn came back, I was like, I don't believe shit you say anymore.
I know. I love those characters a lot. I love Michael Pena. I love the Wombats. I love Evangeline Lilly. That movie, that first Ant-Man movie, I just remember how I felt watching it and just being so happy afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I need to see Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp.
Right, more. But you've seen it all the time. You like first two. What if it's not good? What if it's being forced?
What if it's the best
No, but what
one?
if it's no? But if it's being forced and shoehorned into something because fans are clamoring for it, then it might not be. If it's not part of their story, I don't want them to make it.
But I don't think it's because fans are going to be clamoring for it. My thing is, I think they already have it planned, and they're just doing it to get people enthusiastic for it. It's like when the band leaves the stage and they're going to do an encore, but they're like, we're not going to play any more music, man. And they're like, not unless you guys make a shitload of noise. And everyone's like, I fucking got back on stage. They're like, okay, one more song. That's exactly what they're doing to us right now.
Yeah, but everyone's going to see it anyway. It's a superhero movie. They put it out there and people are going to get excited for it. If there's no story in place and they don't want to do it,
get excited for it because they do stuff like that, because they hype it, because they do something like don't do the spoiler thing.
I don't think they need to do a work for this. I think it's legit.
I think it's all a work. I don't think they need to do work, but I think they do it. Sometimes you don't need. Sometimes you do things you don't need to do just in case.
But the other thing is that on those Ant-Man films, they have so many writers, and Paul Rudd's a part of the writing team. Mm-hmm. So, I just hope that they're somewhere in the plans. I just, I hope that we don't have to wait too long to see them again.
You saw what someone shared in the group text today about fans reacting to content, where it's like, we want something different. We want something new.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Let them just do what they're gonna do. I trust Marvel and Disney have a plan in place. If that plan doesn't include Ant-Man 3, so be it.
But then sometimes the creators of something, Paul Rudd is now, we consider him a creator of Ant-Man. He's created a lot of it. Sometimes they have a great idea, but the guys with the wallets just don't want to do it because it's too big of a risk. So what if that's him being, hey man, we got some good ideas. Tell him to let us do our good ideas.
I don't think anything that the MCU puts out is going to be considered a risk at this point. I think they're too big. I think that they make so much. Each movie, even when it's a bad movie,
they say
makes
no
that
to.
Money.
But there's shit they axe and there's shit they say no to. They're
but they're not
gonna.
Shit they say no to might be a new venture they're trying. A third movie of a popular hero isn't going to be a risk.
Exactly, and that's why they're going to do it. Next news, production designer Sue Chan, she's done Gone Girl. She's production designer for Gone Girl and 300, has joined the crew for Shang-Chi.
Okay.
So that's going to be fun. There's a little bit of a...
I like that movie, Gone Girl. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, it's creepy. It's creepy. And 300.
Oh, you'd like it.
Production designer for 300.
I like 300.
Production design for that movie is very interesting. That could be... Both of those movies are very stylized. So what might we get with that? That's exciting. It's going to be a very stylized movie then. There's lots of fun shades and colors and camera angles and stuff. That's all about... I mean, to me, that's... Gone Girl, when I think of Gone Girl, I don't really think about a lot of the plot. I kind of just think about how it looks and feels. Same with 300.
Yeah, 300 had a specific look, and then, Zack Snyder just kept trying to do that for everything. It just didn't work that way.
Yeah, Sin City didn't...
Yeah, that's another one we can do. Whenever we start doing indie comic movies.
I'd like to do 300.
Yeah, 300, Sin City, all that stuff we could do.
There's also... We're going to the rumors. This is actually news. You know I like to talk about rumors.
Yeah, rumors is fine.
Marvel's casting somebody called the Benefactor right now. Or Marvel Studios. So we don't know what character the Benefactor is. Maybe that's somebody like a Elder of the Universe or something like that.
You think this is a code name?
Also,
Yeah,
there's
definitely.
a rumor it's a code name. The Benefactor might be Norman Osborn or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's the movie they cast him? What's the characters casted in? What movie?
We don't know that yet.
We know they're looking for somebody they're calling the Benefactor. That's what we know.
That's interesting.
That's not really news. That's
Yeah.
just like something swirling around.
In a couple of weeks, D23 is happening.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention that too. So perfect, yeah.
Yeah, D23 is happening, and we're going to have a better idea of the future of the MCU.
There's some they're expecting.
It's going to be like Christmas.
They're most likely going to announce Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, yes, please, Jesus.
We're getting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They're probably
They're
going to...
gonna do
Keep going. I'm getting
Black
hard.
Widow. They'll announce Black Widow.
Yes.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
They've already started shooting that, so
Yeah.
that's great. I bet we're going to get Thor 4 in there.
Thor 4 and Guardians 3 should be back-to-back.
I want them to be one to be a sequel of the other. I want them to both be sequels to their respective franchises, but I want those movies to work in a contained unit. Thor 4 and
sequel.
Guardians 3.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be really fucking cool?
I want that so bad. Yeah, no, for sure. So D3,
I'm
yeah.
almost positive Carol Danvers is going to make an appearance in one, if not both, those movies. Right now, we're going to see Captain Marvel in a lot of shit.
Anything
From
cosmic.
now on, anything that takes place in space, you can pop her into Earth. Like they've said a lot. She's going to be huge in the franchises in the future. They said that she's going to be one of their go-tos. I mean, because we're out Tony Stark and Steve Rogers now, so
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of Carol
And the Hulk.
Danvers. No, he's still kicking, man.
He should be dead.
He's gonna Hulk out and heal himself.
Should die.
Speaking
Asshole.
I also
Asshole.
we have speaking of conventions, D23 convention, E3 happened this weekend, and E3 is different now.
The Avengers.
The Avengers were announced. The Avengers video game, and boy, that was not an exciting trailer.
Captain America looks like Luther from the Umbrella Academy.
You guys aren't the real Avengers.
Captain America.
Yeah, wait a minute, you guys, I can tell.
Captain America looked like he's like a human shield. Like he's a riot shield. Like he looks like he got shot once and he doesn't want to get shot again. Like that's what Cap looks like.
Thor looks like he's gonna ask you for money.
His costume looks like he's covered in pots and pans. What were they doing? I don't know what they're doing. It looks awful.
This is a full redo.
No, that's what happened. They're doing the Sonic effect. Because,
Black Widow looks like if you Google Black Widow Rule 34.
The only casting I liked was the guy who's the voice of Tony Stark. He's also the voice of Tony in Marvel's Capcom 3 and the Avengers Assemble cartoon, which was a great cartoon. Avengers Earth Mightiest
They're
Heroes.
gonna keep with the video game what they've been doing and give Rocket Raccoon a British accent.
Maybe, yeah.
A lot of people were mad when Bradley Cooper was cast as Rocket Raccoon because they were like, "No, Rocket Raccoon's supposed to be British."
Yeah, he's supposed to have he's not supposed to have a Philly accent. So that happened. Marvel Ultimate Alliance is coming out in a couple weeks, and we will be reviewing that. Very excited for
You
that.
know what's interesting though about that? I feel like any publicity is good publicity. People are gonna look into I didn't even know that game was being made until I saw all those images online.
The memes.
All the memes. I didn't know that game was being made. Now I know about it. Now I'm gonna be interested. Now I'm gonna follow it. If it looks somewhat decent as far as gameplay goes, I'm probably gonna get it.
We talked. Was it yesterday? We talked yesterday before we all watched Spider-Man together at my house yesterday, and we were talking before Andrew got there on the mistake that Disney made, and they don't make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, you're telling me this.
When they bought Star Wars, when they already have Marvel, they dissolved LucasArts.
Yeah.
And LucasArts made fantastic video games.
They did.
LucasArts made Knights of the Old Republic. LucasArts made the early Battlefront games. It made Jedi Academy. LucasArts would make fantastic video games. They should have given they should never have dissolved LucasArts and given control of the Marvel Universe video games to LucasArts.
We still haven't had They were supposed to be an Avengers game when the first Avengers
There was
movie
supposed to
came
be an MGU. They announced an MGU, a Marvel Gaming Universe, and Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to be the first game in that, and it was going to be like an MMO or something like that.
Very disappointing.
It's right up there behind, next to Ultimate Alliance, actually. I think it looked to your left, right. It's Star Wars. What's the name of it? The
Force Unleashed.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that was a
The
great game.
first one is an amazing
That
game.
was
The second one is
awesome.
nasty garbage trash.
The Force Unleashed was such a good game.
The first one is one of the best games made by. No, that was actually EA, I think, wasn't it? It wasn't LucasArts.
It wasn't LucasArts. Didn't have a hand in that.
It might have. Was it LucasArts?
Yes, it was LucasArts.
Okay, LucasArts is on there.
Nice.
But LucasArts made some amazing, and not just Star Wars games. LucasArts used to make some other good games too. I can't name any, but they did.
Andrew, you never had an Xbox?
No.
Oh, wow.
I was a PlayStation guy.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember when the PS3 was announced and it was so expensive. It's like, you have $800? I'm like,
It was
no.
stupid money. Is the PS5 going to be backwards compatible
With
to
PS4 games?
PS3?
No.
That's fucking
Why would you
stupid.
think they would do that?
Why not? Backwards compatible all the way backwards.
No, what they should do is remaster those games and buy them digitally on the PlayStation.
They need to remaster the Warriors so fucking badly.
They didn't, but I have that game digitally and it's still good. I have it on the PlayStation.
The Warriors
yeah.
is one of the best games.
I gotta play it.
So let's talk about
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. So we're gonna get into comic book history.
Comic book history.
Miles.
Okay, so I was gonna do Peter Parker and Green Goblin, but I'm not doing another fucking Peter Parker origin.
Yeah.
We all know Peter
He's a
Parker. People who don't know Spider-Man know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and he got bit by a spider and it wriggled and
the spider went up his
jiggled and
ass.
tickled inside her. Okay, so all I did was Green Goblin.
Okay.
First appearing as Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man number 14 in 1964 and as Norman Osborn in The Amazing Spider-Man number 37 in 1966. He was a son of a wealthy alcoholic and abusive industrialist. A wealthy but alcoholic and abusive industrialist. He grew up with a pathological need to be better than his father because of this, along with loose morals when it came to violence. He married his college sweetheart, Emily, and has a son named Harry, later known as the Hobgoblin, in this movie, played by
James
Franco. Also, Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, played by
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, the one and only foe. He founds chemical corporation Oscorp Industries with his college professor Mendel Strom, played by that guy from that one episode of Parks and Recreation in this movie. Emily dies early into Harry's childhood, leading Norman to sink more deeply in his work, neglecting Harry, developing a strength and intelligence enhancement formula. It's also been part of the Weapon X program, I believe, at some point.
I mean, I got the vibe of the Super Soldier Serum, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Weapon X,
Super Soldier Serum was the first in the Weapon X program.
Correct, yes.
The experiment goes awry, and he becomes the deranged Green Goblin, and that's
My question is,
Goblin.
can he transform back to Norman?
He's been around for so long, there's almost every version of Green Goblin where like mechanical suit, and sometimes it's like it's the same shit that makes Hulk green made him green because it's the same serum, and
It's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's more like Jekyll and Hyde. So like there's been a lot of versions. I always preferred Hobgoblin for some reason.
Yeah, and people believe the Hobgoblin was a ripoff. It is not. I mean, it's
just
Harry.
his son.
Yeah, it's his son. I know.
Carrying on the family legacy.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch the trailer for the original Spider-Man movie. Let's see how much of the movie they give away in this shit.
You can hear it.
I know I would do exactly the same thing at your age.
I remember thinking the little hairs were really cool.
He's so
when I saw the
dorky.
trailer.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're giving away all the heartwarming moments.
They really give
Give
away
away
a lot.
everything.
Yeah, I feel like this is just like I can't tell if these are the original trailers, final trailers. I don't even know.
But I feel like then they might have had to. They might have had to be like, look, everybody, we got it all in here, you know?
Yeah.
We got the transformations and everything. We got the origin. Whereas now we're thinking, do they have it? Are they going to put it in?
Is he going to put it in?
Is he going to put it in?
Oh, kind of. It's this time of year when these movies will come out.
Oh, wow!
In the trailer.
Lava boom.
Can you imagine what the internet would have done with that now?
Oh man,
I
the
know.
memes.
It would have been slowed down and oh man, enhanced.
Enhanced.
They couldn't have done that now. It would have been a better camera. You would have seen everything.
If we see Mary Jane on the fucking bridge, oh, we do.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Why did we bother seeing? Oh, even the Superman's line.
No, I remember that line.
That
being
was
in
the
trailer.
movie. That was the movie. So that was the movie. No need to talk about it.
Yeah, that was like the Cliff Notes.
I hope you enjoyed Spider-Man.
I remember being in the theater and seeing the original teaser, and it had the Twin Towers. It was before 9/11, and there was like there was a heist, and there was a helicopter
There's
escape.
in a web.
Yeah, and then it was caught in a web, and it was like Spider-Man, and I remember thinking like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I had no idea this was happening. I had no idea it was in production.
You didn't know that.
No, you didn't know that.
Hear
No.
about it. You
And-
would hear
yeah.
you would hear a rumor somewhere, but you'd always hear a rumor. You never believed them.
But leading up to that, the buzz around it was amazing being a kid at that time. Be like, they're making something for us. Like this is straight up for
Yeah,
me. Like this is going to be incredible.
Superheroes.
Yeah, but I mean, but it's
Superheroes.
Spider-Man. It's just he was the mascot of Marvel for so long, and it was like, I mean, I don't know what adults thought. I don't know if they ever thought it was going to be made, but I mean, to make it in that quality, make it a blockbuster, it was like the biggest movie of the time.
And everyone knew Spider-Man. I feel like even if you didn't read comics, everyone knew who Spider-Man was. That's why it was so popular and made as much money as it did.
You mentioned the Twin Towers with the helicopter, and I feel like I mostly remember Spider-Man like in the context of 9/11 when it came out, because I remember like everything was. I was 15 when this movie came out, and it was a weird age because you're not an adult, but you kind of understand what's going on.
Yeah.
You're 15 years old. You understand what's going on.
A lot of us grew up really quick.
Like I was already drinking by then, so like when and you're just watching the news all the time after 9/11. Everybody just watched the news for a fucking like 9/11 created this 24-hour news cycle thing.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to know what was going on.
all the time because there was always a new development, and like I remember Spider-Man little trailer came out, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And it was one of the first times, there's Piazza's home run.
Oh yeah,
It was one of the first times that you could be like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
Spider-Man. I remember Spider-Man. We kind of need him right now. And I've told I'm not the hugest fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, but I kind of think New York needed the Spider-Man movie at the time.
I feel like maybe kids needed it too. Like, as I remember this coming out, and like, I don't know, like I said, your childhood was kind of robbed from you at that moment, and it's just like, kind of felt like you were back. Like, you can picture yourself being Spider-Man webbing around and stuff.
It was like you were allowed to have fun again.
Yeah.
It was something that was allowed to be fun.
I kind of buried shit after 9/11. I don't process anything right away.
Really?
I never associated it with one or the other. It never occurred to me.
Well, I mean, in all the rest of these films,
teenager.
you have a shot of like Spider-Man next to like the American flag and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
so
I just saw it as Spider-Man's patriotic. I never put those things together.
Yeah, it's kind of
Kept it
weird.
away.
Yeah, patriotic. They made him, but so they took the Twin Towers out the film. Also, there was another trailer, like a teaser. I don't know if it was like overseas or something, but there is actually a scene with Toby with the web shooter.
Yeah.
And they just abandoned it. But it's not like, it's not in a shitty way. Organic webbing has been in the comics in different versions of Peter
What
Parker.
pissed me off about that was Raimi was like, oh, he doesn't think it's feasible that a high school student will be able to create this. Motherfucker, he did it in the comics.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
He did it in the comics.
Fucking dunder monkey.
And that's
like,
the worst part is that Raimi's like a big comic book collector too. He's got, I think I read on like 25,000 comics.
Holy shit.
Something like that. Like he'd open his own store, and you don't put that together with Spider-Man?
Tobey
Come on.
That's
Maguire
weird.
had not read Spider-Man comic
Yeah.
before he got cast. as
Oh no, that's not good.
Right, he just liked the role.
leading up to this film, they tried to make another Spider-Man movie with Michael Jackson as Spider-Man. That almost happened. I swear to God, that almost happened.
Was he Peter Parker? As I said last night, Michael Jackson is one of the only people who could have played Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Aunt May.
Yeah. It would have been weird, but I could totally have seen
it. And Green Goblin.
It would have not
and
aged
Willem
well at all.
Dafoe.
No, it wouldn't.
No way it could have.
Michael Jackson didn't age well at all.
No.
I
mean, obviously, you know what the worst part is, though? All that horrible shit he did, people still like his music and still do it. That was they didn't even really fully take him down.
No.
Like they do with other things.
I made Dre change a Michael Jackson song in the car the other day.
Oh, really?
It came on, and I was like, you know what? He raped kids.
I'm not gonna seek his stuff out, but I remember when he died and how crazy.
I'm not gonna
He
complain about it if it's on, but he raped kids.
He does have some bangers though.
Thriller.
I was coming home from the Met game when I heard on the radio. Me, Dave, and my uncle.
Oh yeah.
Me, Dave, and his father. We were coming home from the Met game. We were crossing almost at the Knapp Street exit on the Bell Parkway, and it's weird. You remember where you were?
It was a 1 o'clock
I remember
game
where I
that
was
day.
too.
Dude, yeah, I was coming home. It was the afternoon.
I was at work, so it had to have been a 1 o'clock
The sun
game.
was setting. I
It was
remember
a fucking Monday.
It's like you don't think you're gonna remember where you were. I remember where I was when Michael Jackson.
That's
I
when
did
they
too.
used to have Monday 1 o'clock games a lot.
I was home. Johnny just came home, and I was like Michael Jackson, and we just sat in front of the TV, and it was like, wow, man, someone almost as big as the Beatles died. And then, without a beat, the news reporter said, this man was bigger than the Beatles. And Johnny's like, I can never listen to you or take your opinion seriously. Like how the news discredits
Farrah
you.
Fawcett died the same day.
That was insane, yeah. Well, Michael Jackson was a huge nerd, huge comic book nerd. He would tour. I remember I saw a video. He toured Marvel Comics headquarters with Stan Lee. It's on. Yeah, it's on YouTube. But yeah, so that movie was almost made. But so Sam Raimi directed this. Sam Raimi with a huge horror movie background.
Clearly.
Evil
Yeah,
Dead.
there's so many fucking jump scares in this movie.
Yeah, it's very
More
evident.
jump scares than I remembered.
Yeah, me too.
You don't put it together. You just thought, okay, it's part of the movie, but clearly it has a background. Oh wow, St. Louis is up to nothing.
Well, you
Tyler's
don't
in
think
for a good
about
night.
the filmmaking part of it. And, I feel like we thought about the filmmaking part of it less than this, but we've watched so many fucking movies for this podcast.
Until we've done the podcast, I just watched movie to consume. I now I'm analyzing movies even when I'm not doing a recording on it.
At this point, I feel like we've, seen an evolution of how they do these superhero movies, and we're drifting now that we're in 2002 and we're in Spider-Man. I feel like we're coming into the modern era of superhero movies because we were very much in the dark ages with Blade.
Yeah.
We really were.
Were we?
It was rough. He didn't do a superhero landing until the third movie.
Yeah. But now in this movie, we're introduced to the idea of the superhero
We
origin.
got the flipping pages. We got
Yes,
the
first
Stan
time
Lee
ever.
cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the first flipping pages.
First flipping
But you know what? And then what proceeded was the longest opening credits ever.
Oh,
This whole movie was a mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that before. How
It's longer
long
in
that
3.
was.
It's way
that
longer
was
in
like
3.
that was like a James Bond 007 movie.
Yeah.
That's how long that was.
And it was just appreciate the score and look at these names. If little kids must have been asleep by this point.
I made bread in the time it took that
Yeah.
credit secret day.
It was really long, and then we open and we see Peter trying to catch the bus, and they're on their way to a field trip. And what's funny is they're in Sunnyside or Woodside, and MJ is like, he's been chasing us since Woodhaven. I'm like, God,
Jesus Christ! He didn't even get bit by the spider yet.
yeah,
He's got some stamina.
yeah. And everyone in the bus is like 25.
Yo, the dialogue in this movie is so fucking cheesy. Oh yeah, also everybody's in their late 20s, early 30s in this movie.
Joe, I can't say his last name. Can you say Sofia Vergara's husband, Joe?
Maganello.
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 Maganello?
Dude, he looked like 30 here.
He was young. He wasn't before. It was probably before the steroids.
He had a steroid thing?
I don't know.
You're just guessing.
He's bigger now.
He's a big dude, yeah.
Wait, was he Flash Thompson?
Flash Thompson, yes.
It was weird because we got the much more comic book accurate Flash Thompson. He was 100% comic book Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
But they couldn't decide on his costume whether he wanted to be like a jock or a preppy or something like that.
He had a little pump to him too.
Yeah, I was like, this is weird. He's got a weird combination.
Who wears a collar and a fucking leather jacket?
Yeah, exactly. He's wearing a polo and a leather jacket.
Driving a Porsche, not a motorcycle.
And it was weird because it's way more comic book accurate, but I love the other. This is also the first like main character that we've gotten 2 versions of.
Do you know what's interesting about that?
3 versions.
Is that the same?
3 versions.
There was a
but
third.
we watched on the podcast.
Yes.
2
Is
versions.
that the same car or the same model of car that Flash is driving?
I
in the
was
new
thinking
one,
that. I was
he
fucking
picks
thinking the
that
same
Flash
thing.
No,
gets-
he drives. The new Flash drives an Audi.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive. Talking to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with John on that. Your hair looks nice, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. I think you
do.
should
It's
leave it
frazzled.
natural.
I don't. I mean, I don't have any gel. I always.
You look
gel.
like you've been working.
All right, cool. Thanks.
The Spanish fro.
I always wonder what the fuck were people wearing in their hair before hair gel? Like, you know what it is? It's funny because I remember we talked about Vin Diesel. You probably do. We talked about Vin Diesel on the set on the red carpet. And he's dressed like Groot, and you guys like, John, if you were surreal, you wear that shit. No, I envy these celebrities that have like stylists and fucking and wardrobe people. Like, okay, your body type, you wear this, your hair wear like this and go on out there.
Jonah Hill, like Jonah Hill, you're like, God damn it, I know I am objectively better looking than Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
However, he always looks better than me.
On Jimmy Kimmel and shit because they got
And
professionals.
I dress well. Like I think I can put myself together.
That's the one thing I would want if I'm rich. I would want a stylist, like just dress me up, like
All
maybe
those custom
make me
suits, man.
make me look like the best version I can be out there. You know what I mean? But how did we get to this? Anyway, so they're on their way to field trip, Columbia University. We see Columbia University, and my mom works at Columbia University, and I spent a lot of summers there. And I remember walking on the like that set, like, oh man, this is from Spider-Man. This is the library here and stuff. And then we're introduced to Harry and Norman. And we got our first meme, which is Norman.
Oh.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, this movie's so memeful.
Yeah, it's a lot of memes in this movie. So they're in I don't know what's the purpose of the field trip? What, they're touring Oscorp?
I don't understand.
There's a bunch of spiders. I would refuse to go on that field trip.
Yeah, why are they like, here's where we keep the spiders. Let's let one out.
Very radioactive, dangerous DNA spiders and shit. Genetically modified spiders.
It takes Norman Osborn an unreasonable amount of time to go, oh, he was in the spider room, wasn't he? Oh,
Yeah.
it's Peter.
You could have narrowed it down real quick.
Yeah, he'd be like...
It's not super intelligence he gets then, it's just strength.
I like that Spider-Man went with the same color scheme as the spider that bit him too.
Yeah, but he's also smarter than... Like, Norman
average
Osborn
bear?
is smart. You think he would have figured that out. Maybe it makes him dumber. I should have said stupider.
What you mean? What?
He doesn't go to Jupiter in this movie.
So it's so weird because the villain and the hero's origin are happening at the same time.
We've gotten the first villain from that meme, by the way, that new meme, the Me and My Boys meme. Oh, no, second, because we've done Homecoming and Vulture's in that.
So there's 4. What are the 4? It's Electro, Rhino, Goblin, and Sandman,
and Vulture.
Vulture.
They look. So we've gotten 2 out of the 4. Rhino's my favorite.
They look so weird. They look like us on 420.
They do. That's exactly what.
Andrew, have you seen this meme? The 4 1960s Spider-Man villains.
Oh yeah,
They just look like goons.
It's kind of. I didn't even know where that came from.
The meme's called Me and My Boys. It's like Me and My Boys went, and I don't know why, but their faces make me laugh so hard because I feel like I've been one of those guys so many times.
I can't get over the fact that Charles Barkley is wearing 2 collared shirts.
It's
I
like
can't get
Thor.
past that. What is that?
Have you ever watched Ragnarok?
I'm watching the NHL Stanley
If you've
Cup
ever
Finals.
seen Thor Ragnarok, Thor is wearing an unreasonable amount of shirts in his scene when he's on Earth. He's wearing like 8 fucking shirts and a few jackets.
So we see Norman, and Norman, he's trying to get this military contract, and they get rid of him. I guess he's burning through money. The board's not happy, so they buy him out. But you guys said it's irresponsible. Like he should have had majority ownership.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason why he should.
Well, they mentioned nanotech in that
They
scene.
do. He's an advancer in that field.
It was surreal watching this movie to realize, like, okay, we got Spider-Man first, and then we had Iron Man, which set up the new age of superhero movies, and then he's the one who introduced Spider-Man.
We wouldn't have gotten Iron Man if it weren't for Spider-Man, but we wouldn't have gotten the new Spider-Man if it weren't for Iron Man.
It's so weird.
Nice little parallel.
Did anybody hear Franco totally mansplain to fucking Mary
MJ?
Jane in that whole scene?
About the
She was like, I
spiders.
like science. He was like, science is when... She was like, Thanks, I didn't fucking ask that. I said I like science, dick.
He's such an asshole. He knows Peter likes MJ, and he goes and swoops it in.
He's thinking with his dick.
Dick. Yeah, that's thinking with your dick. That should be your quote on our soundboard.
All right, let me do it one more. Now you're thinking with your dick. I'm just gonna snip that out later. So it's fucked up. I remember when I was scared to talk to girls, and I would send a friend to talk to girls, and then they would immediately hook up with that girl. And it's like, well, fuck me, thanks.
Yeah,
you asshole. So yeah, Peter gets bit. And he goes home. And he passes out.
Something I noticed about that scene with why do the army guys need they have thugs? Like the army guys have security. I'm like, you're the army.
Yeah.
Why do you need security?
So we see Peter. Peter wakes up from a fucking wet dream. He's he has his eyesight. Which is I wish that could happen to me. I wish I could just wake up and not need glasses.
And
his abs are all sweaty.
His abs are all sweaty. Oh, my abs are sweaty.
My abs are so sweaty.
They took a break in filming, right?
He has 6 months, and he just did so many sit-ups.
I know.
at abs. And then he goes to school and immediately starts fucking shit up.
I know. It's the opposite. I think that's why, this movie, I notice more and more. I think this is why Homecoming, and Civil War and MCU Spider-Man was like it is. He says in Civil War, well, I wasn't captain of the football team then. I shouldn't be now. That's counter to what they do in this movie where he's suddenly fucking everything up. Yeah. Spider-Man, he doesn't he doesn't punch one person in Homecoming.
Yeah.
He throws a punch, I think, once, but he doesn't land it. He doesn't punch one person. All Spider-Man does is punch people. And he barely webs anybody up in this fucking movie.
I would be so irresponsible if I had that power. I'd be like, hey, everyone, look at his backflip. And I'm just
There's no web up. Where's the real web 'em ups in this movie? There's not a lot of actual web 'em ups.
I think it was just hard with the technology they had to pull that off.
That's why George Lucas waited. He's like, I didn't have the technology to do these trade negotiations until 1999. And now I got it. And now I can make those weird Japanese aliens.
Do you know what's funny, though? I was reading online before. I was looking at notes. The Trey scene, that was no CGI. He did that all himself.
He didn't.
They had
the fuck you,
I swear.
Sound effect.
They had the tray stuck with some sticky substance to his hand, and they took 156 times for him to get it
No.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
There's 156 times.
156 times.
That's unnecessary. They're burning film. It wasn't digital yet.
It was probably cheaper to do that than CGI at the time.
Do you think they would?
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Take a
what
break.
do you think they would have stopped? We're well, it'd actually be cheaper to do it by CGI now. They're like, well, we've already done this many takes now.
We're on day 3.
Keep going.
Was this why this movie was so fucking expensive?
Let me check the budget for this movie.
They made $100 million opening weekend. What? First movie ever to do it.
139.
Yeah, even with inflation.
That's Titanic's entire budget.
Even with inflation. That was what was crazy to me. First movie to ever do it in the opening weekend.
They made the budget was $139 million. They made $821 million.
Wow.
This movie comes out today. It makes $1 billion, no problem.
829, you said?
Yeah,
that's a crazy amount.
I'm surprised they didn't hit. I'm surprised they didn't re-release this movie and try and go for $1 billion. So we see Flash Thompson against that fight, and it's the first time we see him use his Spidey sense. Everything's all slow.
Oh wait, we skipped a part that I wanted to bring up.
Go ahead.
When we see Mary Jane's abusive ass parents.
Oh yeah,
the white trashers.
And we see, I'm gonna call them the piece of shit Parkers from now on, because how long Peter Parker's been living next to Mary Jane
since he was 4.
Since they were 4.
Yeah.
You're an angel.
Do you clearly hear the yelling and screaming and abuse from the other house, right? Never once did they call the cops. Never once did they call CPS. They don't mention it at all.
I'm sorry. It might not be New York now, but New York back in the day, you just kept minding your business. You kept your mouth shut. You didn't even get to know your neighbors.
You don't get to make Uncle Ben the good, wholesome guy if he lets that girl get abused.
Uncle Ben is New York street smart. He knows when to stick his nose in and when not to.
It's funny how
that's how he survives.
Good thing Spider-Man's not.
the Parker's backyard is all clean and tidy, and her backyard looks like a junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a broken down car and just piles of garbage.
A bike is just always on the lawn.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's not even there.
ragtag group of ruffians.
I know you just said shit about the Parkers, but I really like Ben Parker in this movie.
He's awesome.
He's probably the best. Like, I mean, his monologue is incredible.
He reminds me of my grandfather. Yeah.
That's nice.
How's Tobey Maguire's accent in the first half of this movie?
Were they trying to do a Queen's accent?
Yes, they definitely were. In the first half of the movie, he's like, "Hey, how are you doing? How you doing, MJ? I'm Peter Parker." And we're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And like once he becomes Spider-Man, he kind of drops it.
Yeah. So Peter gets his powers. He's immediately reckless, and he's just like, I want to get a car. I want to impress Mary Jane. He's watching her through a window really creepily. Shouldn't be doing that, dude. And he's looking in the paper for a car. He's looking at like...
That's not the first time he's watched her through the window.
Yeah, no, not at all. He's looking for like a Nissan shitbox for like $300, and he sees wrestling. He's like, I'm gonna go make some money wrestling.
He's true. He's a true wrestler, though. He is the kayfabe. You said there's kayfabe.
They kept kayfabe in this movie. Wrestling is real in this movie,
and even Peter Parker does it because Macho Man looking rough. Is in this movie. He's rough and
he only
red.
died like a few years later after this, and it is like I
4
said,
years. I think it died in like 06 or something.
He died of a heart attack while he was driving, and the crash killed him.
Yeah.
But I mean, years of abuse with steroids and cocaine and stuff like that. But
he's barely even really walking around in this. He's
very stiff.
And I feel like he couldn't even yell because there was obviously dubbed yes and oh yeah. They gave him an oh yeah and then yeah right after, like, got him in contractually, got him in.
Yeah.
You gotta let me say yeah and oh yeah.
If Macho Man was alive, he wouldn't be able to walk, probably.
No.
Because Lex Luger can't walk, and Lex Luger kind of had the same body type. I love Macho Man in this film. I didn't know he was Macho Man then, because I wasn't a WCW. You
didn't know that?
No, I wasn't a WCW kid.
Oh, wow.
You didn't. I feel like that's one of the reasons they put the oh yeah and the yeah in, because he was afraid, like, I got this new image.
Is it a new look?
People aren't gonna, if you don't let me say my oh yeah, people aren't gonna know it's me, because look how puffy and red I am.
I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was. I didn't know who Macho Man was, because
how could you not recognize who Hulk Hogan was?
I didn't know who Hulk Hogan was.
That was just him with a beard.
But I didn't know who he was until he came back to the WWF, because when he left, they were like, "We're not going to promote these guys. We're not going to talk about them," and they never did. I didn't know who they were until they showed up. But Macho Man.
That's why I think that's where a few years age difference. Because when I was a kid, you could not escape Hulk Hogan. There was the Ninja Turtles, there was Hulk Hogan, there was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and if you were a kid, you knew those three things. That was the Trinity. the Turtles counted as one. It was the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Hulk Hogan, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was the fucking Holy Trinity. And then the Power Rangers broke it up.
Yeah. They were the other faction that took over.
Power Rangers came in and fucked it up.
My favorite thing about him is, I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's just like Wolverine in that. He's like, we're going to play on Wolverine. And you're Bobby.
Do you know before he used to go by Macho Man, he was known as the Spider?
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh shit! That must be right. Yeah, that's cute. That's
a
pretty
nice
cool.
little tidbit. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's pretty cool.
So he signs up to wrestle, and it becomes a steel cage match immediately.
Why would they? Which I didn't catch the Clerks 2 reference, because Clerks he says steel cage match, and he goes in the exact same position as Spider-Man in this movie.
I love that scene in Clerks too.
Yeah. That's
he even makes comic book references in that scene.
This is like the plastic prison, the X2, Magneto.
He mentions. Oh,
it's Jason Mewes' birthday. We should probably shout him out.
Oh, it is Jason Mewes' birthday.
Oh my god, I was reading what Kevin Smith posted today, and it was it made me choke up, man. He loves his friend so much.
Kevin Smith got me reinterested in comic books when I was a teenager, because I was interested in comic books. I got out of them for a few years, and I started watching Kevin Smith movies, and I was like, this is cool. He smokes weed and stuff, and he's cool.
He wasn't smoking
weed. He wasn't, but I thought he was.
He was not.
He wasn't. And then I was like, okay, he still says comic books are still cool. I can read some comic books. And then I started getting into the darkest shit, like noir, Marvel noir, and shit like that.
We see Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's in a lot of Sam Raimi stuff. He's in all 3 Spider-Man movies and as different characters. And like, what's your name? The Human Spider. That sucks. The Amazing Spider-Man. Easter egg right there. He called him the Amazing Spider-Man. Yep. And then Macho Man proceeds to hit him over the head with a chair. Yeah. That's really good. And then he comes at him with a crowbar. Oh, yeah. Slim Jim. And, what really pissed me off was Spider-Man 1 without a pinball. How? No. You gotta pin him, man.
Can you put Macho Man's on there?
I'll just use yours. So that was pretty cool. We got to see a little bit of wrestling and this, which is like, what's fucked up.
Peter Parker's a true wrestler.
Yes.
He could have fucking murdered Macho Man, but he was pulling his punches.
Oh.
He was punching him in the face. True Spider-Man would have caved his face in, but Peter Parker knew I can cave his face in now, and he pulled his punches. Peter Parker, good wrestler.
Yeah. What's pretty cool is we also saw another wrestler, which is Liger from WCW. He's the one who's like, my legs, I can't feel my legs. Surprised he wasn't saying that in Spanish because he's Mexican. But that was another Easter egg.
What's legs in Spanish?
Oh, I don't even know. Sorry. I should really know
It's
that.
not Legos.
It's not Legos.
Legolas.
Spider-Man. Peter was going to take the train to the city. Ben went out of his way to drive him to the city.
Why is he driving him to the city? They live on the 7 train. They can get to where they're getting.
To him.
They do it multiple times where he's like getting rides and shit, and it was like, come on, like
he went home and came back to pick him up. And
he's chasing the bus. Get on the train. You know where they're going.
Yeah. So we see, what is he? The promoter, fucking asshole promoter, wouldn't pay Spider-Man. Gave him $100. Supposed to win, what was it, 3K? And he's like, you pinned him in 2. There was no pin. And then he gets robbed, and he's just like, oh, I forgot the part where that's my problem. I remember my theater actually clapped when he said it, like, yeah, like, stick it to him. And it's just like, I killed your uncle in the process.
As a theater full of people who didn't know it was coming. Now there's all these people. It was just the hype. I feel like now when it's an origin, this is an origin. There's. When we went to see Doctor Strange and when we went to see Age of Ultron, we kind of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
They were going to create, like, Age of Ultron, we didn't know. We knew they were going to create Ultron. We were like, it's weird to me that people aren't going to know, oh, this is the guy that kills Uncle Ben. Everybody knows that's the guy that kills Uncle Ben because they've done this origin so many fucking times. And
then we see Toby ugly cry.
He ugly cries from this point on. He's basically Sansa Stark in the rest of the movie.
And then we see Peter use he swings for the first time, and the swinging in this movie looks great. I will say that
the swinging looks good.
Looks good.
I think we pinned it down. So they do have Quidditch CGI in this movie.
Yeah.
It does look like Harry Potter Quidditch.
Yeah, or when he's on top of the troll.
Yeah, when he's on top of all that. So I think when it's just him being Spider-Man, when it's like practical, it looks good. When it's CGI, it looks good. In this movie, when they try to mix CGI and like real world effects, that's when it looks rubbery and like some of the CGI looks great in this movie. Some of it looks great. Some of it looks like horseshit.
Yeah.
Some of the practical effects look like horseshit. There's a famous shot in this movie where Mary Jane is dry humping a mannequin swinging through the air.
Yeah, that was so funny. We caught that again. It's so weird. He's just hugging a mannequin. We see Peter chase down the guy, the robber who killed Uncle Ben. And I'm gonna switch over. Andrew, your vigilante, your revenge.
He should have stayed on that path. Start taking him out.
He didn't kill him on purpose, but he did die.
He didn't kill him.
No.
He didn't kill him.
He tripped on his own accord. It was funny when they were in the warehouse and like we see Spider-Man hanging upside down. It's pretty cool. It's kind of a scary scene too.
I remember being happy when I saw him. The spider when he comes upside down. I forget what the pose is called.
Yeah,
but it's a very famous Spider-Man pose. And the first time I saw that, I remember giggling a little. I was like, "Yay, we got it! They did it! Yay!"
We were saying he should have been like, "Yeah," and just kicking his ass, just swinging by, just knees to the face. Yeah, gang, just fucking him up. Gang shit. Oh man, that was so funny. I remember who played the video game for this. Did you?
I did.
How good was that game?
Yeah.
That game was
I don't
so
think
much
there's
fun.
been a bad Spider-Man game. All of them have been pretty good.
Spider-Man
There's
2 made the
definitely
first
been a
one be
bad one.
bad, but that first Spider-Man game, it was so cool. I
I
remember
played Maximum Carnage. That was a good Spider-Man game. It was for the Super Nintendo.
I did not. I remember the Spider-Man game for the PlayStation. My cousin had it, but I had Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man game was really good, but the first Spider-Man game, it was the movie. I bought it the day I saw the movie.
Yeah.
That was when the video games used to come out the same day as the movie.
They used to make some good movie video games. The Star Wars prequel
Yes.
movie video games
Were
are
groundbreaking.
some damn good games.
Groundbreaking stuff. I remember I got introduced to a lot of Spider-Man villains I didn't know because of the video games. In that video game, you fight Shocker, you fight Vulture, you fight Rhino, I believe, and it was just
all the classics.
all the classic. You had the Scissors Stick at one point. You weren't fighting them, but they were in the game.
We're gonna do our top 5 villains
next week with Tom.
We were gonna do it this week, but we're gonna wait till Tom's here.
Tom's
so
going to be with us, our
top 5 villains
Spider-Man
next
expert.
week.
I remember there was even a mode in that video game where you were actually in the cage fighting the wrestlers. They came in waves.
So
to
not
find the
instant
goons.
kill?
He's
No.
got the second best rogues gallery in comic books.
Yeah.
It's Batman has the best rogues gallery. Except I'm not going to go on my Joker rant right now, but
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, stop doing the Joker, DC.
We'll talk about it when we have Tom.
Do a different villain.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But jeez, Spider-Man's rogues gallery is just so vast and amazing that they just other heroes take his villains because they're like Spider-Man's got too many villains, and there's like one of the best Spider-Man villains, Kingpin, is almost mainly known as a Daredevil villain now.
Yeah. It's funny you brought up the Joker because I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, every villain now has like a straight up motive. None of them are unhinged. It's not like the Joker, they're just causing chaos. But Green Goblin kind of does that here.
He's silly as shit in this movie. He's
Yeah.
cackling. He's truly menacing people. We don't see villains menacing people anymore. And when I say menacing, I'm not talking about actually directly harming people. He's just flying around people, making shit blow up, just scaring them. And that's what I like a villain to do. Something menace some fucking people.
Andrew, you always, well, more often than not, you side with the villain. What did you think? Did you like Green Goblin's motive here, or did you like him more being unhinged and shit?
Well, he had a motive. He had his motivation to take out the board for what they did, and then I think he kind of lost sight of that after the fact and just became unhinged. At that point, I wasn't really caring for what he said.
For the board thing. He's the one that took the company public.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying he went after them for taking the company from him, and then after that, he kind of just lost sight of it and thought the only one that could take him down was Spider-Man. And
which is very comic book accurate, though. He was in the comic books. It's more like he wants to be. He thinks he decides to become head of like organized crime in the city. He actually has some spats with Fisk about that. Mm-hmm. And he has the same idea that a lot of Spider-Man villains do. If I kill Spider-Man, nobody'll fuck with me.
Yeah.
You know? So
there's only been one villain that's been able to kill Spider-Man. That's Kingpin. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, Kingpin.
Yeah.
We've never seen Spider-Man fight Kingpin in a movie. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Spider-Verse was a movie. You mean live action?
Yeah. You are absolutely correct.
Spider-Verse is probably my favorite Spider-Man movie. That fucking movie was incredible.
Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie.
It's so good. We see the first look at Green Goblin in his costume. Okay, I mean,
it looks like a motorcycle suit.
It was supposed to be bigger.
Do you want to see the original mask? Did you? I don't know if you saw the video. I'm going to pull it up on YouTube.
Seeing what we got,
dude. I want to see Andrew's reaction when he sees. So on YouTube, if you type in Green Goblin like original mask,
looks like he's a Cirque du Soleil like Spider. He looks like if when you told me about Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark on Broadway,
I don't think Andrew's ready to see this.
That looks more like the comic book.
Exactly, but it's animatronic. It's
what's this? We're watching a movie, everybody.
Sorry, I'm gonna put this in the description. Look at that! Look how crazy! Look at it! It moves and everything. I think that would have scared kids. Probably
that would have been more interesting.
Dude, the creature shop worked hard on this. This is, I don't know if this is directly Jim Henson.
Well, Jim Henson was dead at this point.
Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Yeah.
Like his team or whatnot, but look at that.
It's amazing.
I think it should look more like Willem Dafoe, maybe. They could have done that.
Oh, that would have looked much better.
But, I mean, look at the ears, look at the hat. maybe they felt like it was going to be too scary, but I just find Goblin's mask in this movie a little too distracting.
He wasn't goblin-y enough. He wasn't a goblin.
I didn't like when he talked.
The Green Ranger.
I don't.
You saw
yeah,
his
he did look like
mouth.
Green Ranger.
It was almost looked like the alien, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
It almost like with the mouth inside the mouth, like it almost looked like a xenomorph a little, but like a really weird, like Cirque du Soleil version of a xenomorph.
All you're looking at is at his mouth and his lips moving inside the mask and
his eyes and stuff. Like, it's distracting. It doesn't look good.
Yeah. No. If we do get Goblin though in the MCU, I want him to look like this. I want him to look like a fucking goblin, like not like a weird costume. I don't know. It's just.
I want Hobgoblin.
Goblin was strong as fuck though. He's basically like a super soldier, and he's a
never
worthy
got
adversary.
our Hobgoblin in this series.
We got Franco as Goblin in 3. Yeah, Goblin Jr. or whatever. I know we're gonna get to that movie.
It wasn't. I don't know.
So what is it? We get introduced to J. Jonah Jameson.
Best character in the movie.
Yeah.
My unsung hero.
Oh, you want to listen to that right now? Unsung Heroes.
Unsung Heroes.
Woo! Superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
So J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, he was my unsung hero for this, simply because his.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's me.
What are we listening to?
That was my phone was going off. Sorry about that. You were saying, Andrew?
Simply because his every scene he's in, he steals the scene. Number one, you don't realize anyone else was in that scene except him. And number two, his scenes still hold up. Like I was talking to Tom about this morning. The movie back then was amazing. It was great. I loved it. I saw it a bunch of times in theaters. I'm pretty sure I own it. I don't know if I own it or whatever.
Now we've had better.
Yeah, but Tom goes, you really can't compare the two. You just have to view it as if it wasn't that time, and he's right but even so, you could take those J. Jonah Jameson scenes and put them in this movie, and they would still work. They have the perfect balance of getting the point of the character across and the humor. He says he's gonna send Spider-Man a box of Christmas meat.
Yep.
I mean, that was so perfect, and for that, I mean, he's one of my favorites.
I loved Elizabeth Banks as Betty Branch. She's like, your wife's on the phone. She just immediately hangs up on her. Just immediately.
He's so good. His comedic timing's perfect.
Yes.
We have that's what we haven't gotten in the MCU yet, and I think a lot of people are waiting for
Ice
that.
Cube.
A lot of people are
on board.
I'm
full
I
on
like
board
Terry
for Ice
Crews.
Cube. No, Ice Cube would be so much better.
I'm thinking
Terry Crews, Ice Cube is,
I like Ice Cube too.
It doesn't have as much
heard
goofiness.
Somebody say Nick Offerman
Oh shit.
to be a more not as get me pictures of Spider, like
No.
more like subdued.
Oh man, I like. Do you guys saw the 22 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Dude, in 22 Jump Street, when he finds out that Jonah Hill's character slept with his daughter, that was the funniest fucking thing.
Ice Cube would be really good.
I can't remember being in a theater and laughing more than in those movies. Those Jump Street movies are so fucking funny. Ice Cube's great in those.
And you know what? Miles even said it last night. He's not a scumbag. Green Goblin comes in, breaks in, and looking for the guy who takes the pictures. He doesn't sell him out.
Nope.
No.
He doesn't get ready. He doesn't offer. He's literally in the next room. He doesn't offer him out.
He could have got pictures of Spider-Man, but he's got journalistic integrity.
He
doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
He's a man of
J.
honor.
Jonah Jameson has a code. You may not always agree with him, but he knows. He knows, like, he's not a piece of shit.
Goblin fucked up his fucking office.
Oh yeah!
How the hell did they fix that so quick? There was another meme in that scene. It's when he goes to Betty Brant to get paid. It's just like, I'm a photographer. I can see that. It's like I seen when it's like, I have an erection. I can see that. So many.
She saw how thirsty Peter Parker was, and she immediately was like, "Nope, I'm shutting this down."
Yep.
And completely.
She flirts with him in 3.
the beginning. Well, in the beginning, she flirts with him here, kind of. Not really, but you know. Pleasantries that would entice someone, and then she just like, oh boy, he's thirsty, and cuts him off.
We I think we've talked about Elizabeth Banks as maybe Sue Storm.
I liked her as Sue Storm,
and she's been in these movies, so it's kind of cool. She'll be in 2 Marvel things.
Who's your unsung hero?
You know what? I don't even think I haven't thought about it too much.
Think about it.
Oh, you want to go first?
The Rain.
The Rain. Oh man,
The Rain is my unsung hero because there's nudity in this movie.
Yeah.
You can see the difference in color from her nipple to the rest of her breast. I don't know whether they were expecting to release this movie in 1080p, but they did release this movie in 1080p, and it would never have been shot that way now.
That's so crazy. There's so much boobage.
There was nudity in this movie. I was like, oh, I didn't remember there. It was that much. I was like, holy shit. I would be uncomfortable watching this with my parents.
Oh, I know who my unsung hero is. I thought about this on the way over here. My unsung hero for this movie are the people of New York. And the scene at the end scene on the bridge, Spider-Man is holding on to the Roosevelt Island. What is it? The tram or whatever. And he's holding on to the wire. He's holding on to Mary Jane, and Goblin is fucking him up.
Yeah,
just straight up. Full speed flying, socking him in the face. Like, whoa!
This movie's pretty violent at some point.
Full force, just fucking up his skull. And then Goblin's like ready to go for the finishing kill, and he starts getting garbage thrown at him.
Yeah.
And the people of New York are like, hey, leave him alone. You're going to fuck with someone trying to save these kids.
Yeah.
You mess with him. You mess with one of us. You mess with all of us. And I remember in theory being like, yeah.
That was the 9/11 thing.
It was. It was nice. It was nice.
They added that in. They added in after 9/11.
Oh, are we going to talk about how that was just Gwen Stacy's death recut to be...
So we know Gwen Stacy, well, in the comics, Gwen Stacy is his first love. It's his first girlfriend, first love. Fortunately, she passed away. That was huge in the comics.
You know, they cast famous blonde Kirsten Dunst as famous redhead Mary Jane and famous redhead Emma Stone as famous blonde.
Emma Stone used to be like the biggest like starlet in Hollywood at one point, and then she did Amazing Spider-Man. She kind of fell off because of that.
She was just in La La Land, wasn't she?
La La Land. Well, yeah, but
she won Oscars.
I wouldn't say she fell off. Yeah, she's still up there.
She was just in an Oscar-winning movie.
I remember La La Land.
I don't think she fell off.
All right. I mean, La La Land was pretty good. I remember that movie was. I feel like it was another movie.
Superbad. She was good in Superbad.
She was in Superbad. I liked her in Superbad. So unfortunately they replaced Mary Jane with Gwen Stacy. We do get Gwen Stacy in the series, which is Dallas Bryce Howard. She's like in the Jurassic Park movies now and stuff.
Oh yeah.
She's in Spider-Man 3.
Right.
I'm trying to think what else the bridge scene was, that's iconic, the bridge scene where he makes him choose. That was straight up in the comics. It was Gwen Stacy. But
David Fincher, before Sam Raimi was supposed to was in talks to maybe direct and write the movie. His version of the movie would have told the origin story before the credits, and then the movie would have been based on the comic the night Gwen Stacy died.
Oh wow!
That would have been
that
was supposed to be that was David Fincher's version before they took Sam Raimi on.
Wow.
Director. Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Could have changed everything. Who knows?
It would have been like one day, like Friday or some shit.
I can't say I'm the biggest fan of MJ in this movie. She's kind of careless with people's feelings.
Teenager.
She
kind
totally
of
makes out with Spider-Man when she has a boyfriend.
She's what?
Like, fully makes out with it. That's not like a thank you for saving me. We were making the point, like, you don't, like, if a firefighter saves somebody, you don't have a make-out scene with that firefighter right there.
A little slutty. I mean, she's still in her, early 20s?
Yeah.
She's going through a slut
even
phase.
during, like, a slutty period, everybody, girls and boys included, you have slutty periods, whatever. It's fine. Do what you want to do.
I mean, we've all done
Have you ever
unspeakable
seen
things.
somebody immediately make out with the person who just saved their life? Have you ever seen that actually happen in real life?
No.
It would be so weird.
I've also never seen Spider-Man come down and save somebody.
I have.
I forget about that. I don't know what my oh shit moment. Do you guys have your oh shit moments?
I have one.
I'm gonna hit it.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
What's your oh shit moment?
Green Goblin getting killed in the dick. He gets shot in the dick with his own
glider.
With his own glider, and he dies. It doesn't hit him in any major organ. It hits him in the dick.
Yeah.
And he dies from. That's my oh shit moment. Is Green Goblin getting killed in the dick.
Andrew, what's your oh shit moment?
Mine is Green Goblin related too. It was the Thanksgiving dinner scene when he's talking about MJ to Harry. He goes, "Do what you need to do with her and be done with her." He totally calls her just a piece of ass without actually saying it in a PG-13 movie. It was just like, oh my god.
Dump whatever you need to dump.
Yeah. Make sure you wear a bag.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
My oh shit moment is when Spider-Man goes into that burning building, and he's trying to save that old lady. And it turns out to be Goblin.
That scream is iconic. I would love to hear that scream in another movie.
He started the fire just to lure Spider-Man, and he proceeds to kick his ass.
Yeah,
and he throws the blade bombs or whatever, the pumpkin bombs, whatever.
Oh, he
the batarangs.
He hits Spider-Man with monkey knockout gas, and
he does.
He doesn't take off his mask.
Yeah.
I wonder. Oh, well, he already knows who he is, I guess.
He has an idea.
At that point, did he?
But no, he didn't yet.
No, he didn't.
He kind of has the same persona and carries himself kind of like the Joker.
Because
he doesn't care. He kind of thinking he's doing things on his own time.
It takes the fun away from him.
He finds out after that because it's Peter's wound from that fight that he sees.
It's funny. Spider-Man never goes seeking out Goblin. Goblin just keeps trapping him.
He's menacing.
Yeah.
He's you know.
It's just weird to see Spider-Man not do like detective work and try and get down to the bottom of it. He's
I just feel like Goblin sends Spider-Man dick pics sometimes. Spider-Man just walking down the street. He looks, fuck his big green dick.
What does this mean?
It's the brain.
It's like, I know it's not Hulk because Hulk's circumcised.
Oh my god, he got me with the goat.
I remember being in the theater, the final fight scene. The final fight scene was really violent.
Yeah. I just a lot of face punches, like straight up, just like whams to the face.
Do you know what was going on? It just snapped in because I remember having a moment in the theater for that scene, and it just snapped into my memory now of what it was. I remember it was me, Tom, Jess, Joe, probably.
Wow, really? You guys just at that age?
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It just snapped in. We were seeing the movie. We were watching Green Goblin beat the piss out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's beating
and we were laughing. We thought it was pretty funny and there was a kid next to no, he's gonna kill Spider-Man, crying, and that made us laugh more. And we were kind of those jerky teenagers.
Old. You were like, how old were you? In 2002, how old were you? 13?
No, that was 9th grade, high school. I graduated high school in 8th grade in 2001. That's 9th grade for me, bro. 9/11. I was my first year in high school.
No, wait.
2002.
You graduated 2005, right?
Yeah, high school.
Oh, yeah, me too. We graduated the same year.
Right.
Yeah, 9/11 was our freshman year.
2002 was my first year in high school.
I was 12 in 2002.
Okay.
I forget how much. I thought you were only like a year older. You're like
31.
Yeah, you're a couple years older.
Yeah, you're a year younger than me.
Because I was in the theater. I remember a little kid screaming too.
But like the
it
way
was
the
not
birthdays
me.
work out, we were in the same grade.
Right. I just it was very violent fights, and you kind of felt like it was like over. Like they built up the fight pretty well. Like he tried to web him up, couldn't. Fucking stomped on his wrist. He couldn't web out anymore, and then he pretends like he got knocked the sense into.
Yeah.
He's just like, where am I? Oh no, it's the Goblin. Don't let him take me again.
Thank you for punching me so hard.
That concussion really helped me get to my senses.
But like Peter's smarter than that. Like, come on.
Goblin didn't factor in the Spidey sense at all. He didn't know it was a thing.
There's also like some of my problems with this movie is we were making jokes during the fights.
Oh my god.
And then like we're thinking we're ripping the movie, but like no, Spider-Man should be saying these things that we're saying during the fight because Spider-Man says that during the fight.
He doesn't quip at all.
One of the reasons
no quips.
He didn't fight like Spider-Man because one of the reasons Spider-Man quips it's not just because he's a weird kid. It's because while Spider-Man's quipping, like his enemies are thinking about what he's saying and be like, why this kid's fucking annoying me. And if you're a little annoyed, you're not gonna fight as well.
Got him on full tilt.
Yeah.
Stop looking at my dick. I was like, what? Dude, Goblin did a full-on kung fu kick. Did you see that? He Liu Kanged him.
Yeah.
You said how
He full on Liu Kanged them.
He just go, whoa! Yeah.
Yeah. You just full on ready to see a bicycle kick.
Yeah, bicycle kick. Oh, man. And then, Godspeed, Spider-Man. And he does the backflip and just fucking kills. Very gory kill.
Yeah.
Like,
He was gonna stab him in the face.
I admired them for actually making his face all swollen up too. Like they actually made Tobey Maguire's face all busted up and shit.
So did you guys like Willem Dafoe?
I did.
I mean, I liked him. Like he's like, if you're gonna cast a fucking nutbag,
Yeah.
in the movie to play a nutbag goblin that beats the shit out of Spider-Man, yeah, cast Willem Dafoe.
I don't know enough about Green Goblin to make a full-on accurate comic book accurate assessment, but I thought for what it was, I thought he was very good. He was a good villain.
He was sort of the. I mean, this was before X2 and Stryker, so this might have been the best villain we've had up until that point, until Stryker showed up.
Who would you cast as Green Goblin?
I don't even know, because I feel like we need a break of it. Who?
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
I would cast Steve Buscemi.
Has he? I feel like he's been in.
He's been a villain in Boardwalk Empire before.
Yeah. Jim Rash.
Oh no! I mean, if you do a comic book accurate Vulture, it would be Jim Rash. We already got. Didn't Pedro Pascal? No, not Pedro Pascal. It was Pedro. Yeah, Pedro Pascal was the Viper in the Viper in Game of Thrones, right?
This guy's head's huge. Oh yeah,
Jim Rash. Wanted him to be Kraven the Hunter, but now
Dean. Who do you want it to be, Kraven the Hunter?
I wanted Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal,
the Viper from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Do you know Hugh Jackman was supposed to be in this movie?
Hugh Jackman?
He was supposed to be in the movie. They had him on set in New York, but they couldn't get access to the Wolverine costume. That would have combined those universes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Isn't that something?
No.
I just read that before. Yeah.
Why? But why? In what context was it going to?
The crew couldn't get access to the costume.
Fox and Sony, I believe, had an
okay. Fuck the costume. He doesn't need it. Right.
Hey, there were because I remember there were reports in X2 of them making like Fantastic Four references in that movie,
like they did in Blade,
but they had to cut them out.
That's so weird. That would have been insane. Well, we didn't talk about this when we did X-Men, but there was a blooper in the first X-Men movie when they're walking into the Statue of Liberty. Some guy dressed as Spider-Man's like, whoa, wrong set, and he leaves, and all the other crew laughed about it. But at the same time, like, dude, like that would be everything if Spider-Man would just be in that scene. Like that would have made everyone happy.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, we
haven't gotten the X-Men yet. Oh my god. I'm every time I mention that, I'm just imagine when we finally get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the MCU. Yeah. It's gonna be like when we never remember when they announced.
No, it's not.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
When the fuck have you seen my dick?
Over.
You know, he did Willem Dafoe, before we get off Green Goblin, he did 90% of his stunts too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus. He's a pretty good fighter.
I was reading a lot of facts today.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you have?
That Toby, to sign on for 2 and 3, got $26 million, right?
Wow.
That's
a lot of money
for two
back
sequels
then.
To sign on for 2 and 3.
That's a lot of money back now.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that long. I mean, how about 17 years?
I don't have a lot of facts about this film because it started James Franco's career.
I like looking up the trivia.
Freaks and Geeks started
James Franco's there's career. A lot of Stephen Rogen was in Freaks and Geeks.
Linda Cardellini, who's now Hawkeye's wife.
Yes, Joe loves that show.
Freaks and Geeks. I watched it on Netflix.
I love it. It's only one season.
Yeah.
Or 2 seasons. It's one season. Yeah.
Any other facts you have, Andrew?
No. I actually exhausted my facts there.
I have a fact.
What?
Whoa.
Freaks and Geeks is one season.
I just remember this was like my childhood. Like this was a huge film for me. And I remember because of this film, I was more interested in seeing like when Daredevil came out. Like I had to see it. Like I had to. Daredevil, the Hulk, Fantastic Four. Like without this film, I'm probably not into that stuff as much. And what's funny is like this movie set the bar for how origins are told in superhero movies until now pretty much. And it's like the Daredevil movie, when we watched it, the origins are pretty similar. It's a pretty similar origin. Well, I mean, it's the pacing and stuff.
It's no secret that I'm not a huge fan of the Raimi Spider-Mans, but there are this movie, I acknowledge I was always more of an X-Men guy than, especially but there are some certain iconic things in this movie that we just have now and we can't escape. There's the One of the most iconic kisses in cinema history is in this movie.
The Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah, the Spider-Man kiss. Who doesn't call an upside-down kiss a Spider-Man kiss?
Right.
Everybody calls that. There's a reference to it in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, there is. That's funny. Now's your chance, Peter. Andrew, what about you? Like, where does like this movie like rank for you? Like, does it have cultural significance to you at all, or?
I mean, not cultural significance, but it set the tone for everything. I mean, I know X-Men came first.
Yes.
But Spider-Man was really the first one for me anyway, to be like, wow, this is possible. This was really well done, and because I wasn't crazy about X1.
It was the comic booky. It was the first comic book movie.
Yeah, and it was iconic, and it should never be forgotten in that way.
It was targeted to kids. Like, my mom took me to see this. Yeah. She didn't take me to see X-Men.
But she didn't.
We got the accurate suit.
The nipples.
We got the accurate suit. Like, we didn't get. I mean, X-Men itself had a full ass shot.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an Easter egg where when he's designing the costume, and what he draws is the iconic costume.
Yeah,
in the comics.
He draws a few.
I like to imagine that was Steve Ditko doing
there's
that.
There's another one he did too. I forgot to write it
down.
You
You said, fuck, it was like a Spider-Man villain or something he drew.
Like Static Shock or something.
No, not Static Shock. But
I don't remember.
Miles, I wasn't trying to sell you on this movie. The movie I'm trying to sell you on,
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
You don't like Spider-Man 2?
I'm not a huge fan of the Raimi Spider-Man movies. I'm really
Spider-Man
not.
2 is really good.
That's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to watch that together because we changed your mind on X2. I want to see if we can change your mind for Spider-Man 2 because those two movies are the pillars that hold this industry up until we can get to Iron Man.
It's true. No, I never denied that. I never denied that. I don't necessarily. I don't know. The Raimi Spider-Mans always seemed. I could never take them seriously, and it wasn't like it was watching a comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Number 3 was a comedy.
Yeah, I just think it's because you guys are just older than you guys, and it's just like I was still a kid, and it was like seeing Spider-Man.
You got to keep in mind I was 17 when Spider-Man 2 came out. Like I had other shit on my mind. When I was 17. I was a nerd. Okay, I was nerdy. I was like punk rock and stuff, but like. I had other shit on my mind then, man. There was a lot going on in my life when I was 17.
I hear that. I just think that, oh, man, I completely lost my train of thought. What the fuck was I going to say?
Number 3 was, like... I remember, I don't have the comic book history you two do, like, knowledge, but I remember going, this is stupid.
I got so mad they did that to Venom.
I
was like, you gave us Venom and you did that?
I don't want to give away too much for when we do our Spider-Man 3 episode. What Tom was telling me today about that the original writer and director didn't want Venom in it at all and wanted Vulture. And they were like, no, you put Venom in the movie.
Mm-hmm. They were trying to get Vulture in the movie for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad they waited because the Vulture we got now is one of my favorite villains of all time. They were going to
do Vulture in the Amazing Spider-Man series, too, I think.
They set it up.
They were gearing up for Sinister Six.
They were trying to do something over there.
Do you think we're eventually going to get the Sinister Six?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're making Spider-Man the new Iron Man of the MCU.
How many do we have now? We have Vulture, we have Scorpion, we have Shocker.
Yeah.
No Rhino.
We don't have Rhino, but like we might not have the Sinister. I'm certain we're gonna get a Doc Ock.
Yeah,
Doc Ock has to be there.
The only problem is that Sony has been trying to do the Sinister Six movie for themselves.
Yeah, they're trying to do Spider-Man for themselves too.
Why don't they just partner up?
Right, but that's the thing. They've done Venom because they're trying to use Venom to launch their Sinister Six, not the MCU Sinister Six.
If Disney wants it, they're going to get it.
Right.
If Disney wants it, they're going to get it.
No, I hear that. I'm just letting you know that Sony is still fighting for themselves.
Yeah, and it's like the first Hulk versus Thanos fight in Infinity War. We're like, oh look, yeah, Sony's doing a good job, and then he's like, boom. They're like, oh.
Why does that fight have to always come up?
Fuck, did you see my dick?
Oh man, this is.
You cock juggling thunder cunt.
This is great. Oh, we didn't talk about
Blade quotes.
Wow, nice suit. Zip it,
Stan Lee.
Probably the shortest cameo he's ever had.
Yeah, you blinked and you missed it.
You
No,
100%.
X-Men, he was very short too.
Well,
But
X-Men
it was a
on
little
the
more
beach.
on the scene. He was more in focus.
Yeah.
This was a kind of cutaway.
There was a
action
still.
and everything.
This was like helping someone get out the way, and you can kind of make out that it's him.
Yeah.
He has a bigger cameo in 2. In 3, he has a fucking speech and shit.
In 2, he's fully just in the middle of the screen. For
Yes,
a while.
we're gonna do Spider-Man 2 next week. We're gonna have Tom on. Very excited for Tom. Tom's our Spider-Man expert. It's gonna be a good time.
Like having Tom on.
I do
Whenever
too.
Spider-Man comes up.
I wanna hear what it's like being a new dad and stuff. I'm really excited to talk to him about that. I'm glad we're starting the web series. It's gonna be a fun month leading up to Spider-Man Far From Home. Glad we got to watch it. We were having so much fun yesterday watching this. We were fucking.
I know that was a lot of fun. I was worried because we had a lot of fun with X-Men. I like some of the most fun I've had in the podcast a while. I had doing X-Men.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I even like doing X-Men more than Spider-Man, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was worried that we would lose that, but I had fun doing Spider-Man.
Oh, you know what I didn't like? I didn't like that before we saw Mary Jane's nipples, she was about to get raped by 5 Latinos.
Yeah.
Like, they were all Latinos.
And they weren't in a spot of Manhattan where you would, like, it wasn't in, like, oh, everybody's Latino there. So, of course, if somebody, it wasn't, like, in a neighborhood. It was, like, the only 5 Latinos in that neighborhood tried to rape Mary Jane.
Get him out! Remember when Mary Jane, she was ashamed of being a waitress, she went out to talk to Peter, and she lied to Peter.
Like she was flashing.
Yeah. She's like, "You're doing it, Mary Jane." And he's like, "Hey, yo, Miss Watson, if you steal from this register again, I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
But that's a nice boss because he's not firing her immediately. She's stealing from her job.
Oh my god. That diner's not there anymore. The Moonlight Diner, I forget, it's not there anymore.
Yeah,
And
they film every Spider-Man movie in my old neighborhood, like Always in Sunnyside.
Yeah, and they filmed Homecoming in Sunnyside. Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man was also in Sunnyside in my old apartment building.
I kind of had Amazing Spider-Man on cable the other day, and it is not going to be a good time.
No.
Can't wait. I'm excited to do them, actually.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to be worse.
Was there a third?
No.
There wasn't.
Thank
Just
you.
two,
There was
right?
going to be.
It was.
That was the one that was going to have Jake Gyllenhaal.
It was
right?
going to have Vulture, and it was going to have Doc Ock.
Yeah.
There was going to be the Sinister Six. It was going to be. But, oh, man.
One day they'll get the Sinister Six time.
It's going to be weird to have to do 2 movies with Andrew Garfield as fucking Peter Parker. It's going to be really
Flash
rough.
Thompson is Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Flash Thompson's in that movie, and he's like he can get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Even if Peter didn't have his fucking powers.
He looks like John Ralphio in that whole fucking movie.
Yeah, he does. So we will be
Pills, baby.
Minor scrapes and bruises, major dollars and cents.
I gotta finish this. I gotta rewatch this.
Oh, he's such a great
I know John
character.
Ralphio's funny. I like
hated
Jenny
him
Slate
for the
more.
first season he was on, and then I
No.
started to fucking love it.
Yeah, because he said the most outrageous shit. It was just so funny to watch.
My grandpa.
Why are you this way? Pills, baby.
Are we saying baby now? Yeah, baby.
How do you guys remember all these fucking quotes? I can't do it.
I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah,
Dude,
me
you
too.
watch New Girl every day, apparently.
Yeah,
I-
I just go through. I'm almost done with
Every
season.
time I come over, you're watching New Girl.
Yeah, I'm going through the season
Again?
It's a great background watch. I like something I could just turn my brain off and just put it on.
I stopped doing that. I used to have background shows like How I Met Your Mother and stuff, but now it's like if something's on TV, it's got to be something like new. I don't know, just for
Now
me.
I have background podcasts.
Yeah. I listen to us a
Yeah,
lot
but
while
I need
driving.
to listen. I need to be focused when I'm listening to podcasts.
Well, thank you for listening to this podcast. We will be back next week for Spider-Man 2 for the Marvel Movie Marathon. I'm John.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Andrew.
And we can do this all day.
Ride or die, go for broke. You out here trying to thrive. You out here making hope.